Good afternoon. Thank you guys for stopping in. Do want to, you know, uh, have a quick chat with you, and also an invite to all of all of my people that are in my industry, motivational speaking. This is an invite to all of you, not just a challenge, but an invite to each and every one of you to join me in something that I have planned. And I will get to that plan. I will talk about that in a few minutes. But you guys are all aware of um, what I have listed here as a title to this video is freedom, justice, and equality. But watch out. Let me get to the freedom, justice, and equality. I want to say that I am very proud of many of you who have been protesting, many of you who have been out taking a stance um, for freedom, justice, and equality. I'm not a big fan of loitering, you know, destroying your own communities. I know the last video I made, which was yesterday, my emotions got a little bit involved with that. Kind of raised my voice, um, and I'm not, I'm not a fan of it, but at the same time, this is a time that the people need to be heard. Dr. Martin Luther King said once that rioting, rioting is the language of those who haven't been heard. So I do want to, reiterate that and do let you guys know that I'm very proud of our people. I'm very proud of those who don't look like you and I, who feel that the injustice in this country amongst Black people can no longer be tolerated, and it is unjust. Uh, with that being said, I do want to talk about what needs to happen, what we need to do, and where we are here, where we need to go. We need to continue to make this stand. We can't just let this rest. We can't allow the media to dictate what we should pay attention to. We know what's at hand here. We know we know we have a long way to go, and we know that we must continue to do our diligence to bring justice, uh, freedom, and equality in this country, in the United States. Uh, when we learn to have these things of our own, everyone else will follow. The whole world will follow. Those who don't follow will be exposed. They will be highlighted. There'll be ones who will be recognized as those who are not for justice, freedom, and equality. So we have a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing my work. As you guys know, I am building the largest city in the world. We haven't started yet, of course. We have the pandemic. We still have work that we need to do to get prepared for that. This city we're building is going to connect three countries: Egypt, Libya, and Greece, which is across the Mediterranean Sea. Uh, we we are currently just waiting on the word from the other, royal families who are involved with the banker that we dealing with, which is a royal family as well. We're waiting for the other 9 or 10 royal families to come back and say this is what we would like to have in this city that you're building, because they want to be a part of it. They want to be investors. Okay. So with that being said, that's me doing something on a bigger scale of things, and I'm going to be inviting many of you to say, hey, you don't like what's going on here, if you don't like what's going on anywhere, if you want a fresh start, if you're looking for justice, freedom, and equality, we're implementing that as we build this new city over in Egypt. So, hey, that is what it is. I'm born and raised in America. I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. Yes, I do love where I'm born, but at the same time, I cannot continue to see my people be racially profiled. I can't continue to see my people keep getting killed by those who are supposed to be serving and protecting us. You know, and we're paying taxes. You know, our tax dollars are paying the salaries of those who are killing us. I cannot stand to see, you know, many of our black politicians practicing white supremacy. You know, this stuff needs to stop. You know, we don't just need to just protest and vote people out of the presidency. We need to also vote people out of your local government, city council member, your mayors, those who are selling you out. Those are, are allowing police officers on their watch to kill unarmed black men, unarmed black women. We need to kill it, man. We need to make a stance. We need to make a stance right now. We need to make a stance like 20 years ago. Okay, so what I want to talk to you all about right now is it's not this. What I want to talk to you all about right now is, yes, we're going to stand for freedom, justice, and equality. But here's the watch out part. Let me tell you what the watch out part is, folks. The watch out part is, and matter of fact, if you see me looking, if you guys are down here on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, you're going to see me look up. The reason why I'm looking up here is because I have Instagram on my phone here. And Instagram, when you see me looking down, is because I have Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube down here. So I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm at Instagram here, I got everyone else down here. So that's why you see me guys looking as if I'm not looking at you. But I'm with you, still here. What I want to talk about is the watch out part, okay? Here's the watch out part, folks. And this is a clear statement. This is clearly letting us know. Let me say this again. This is clearly letting us know that the racism did not slow down because we lose our beloved friend, relative, and fellow brother, George Floyd. This is a clear indication that the racism did not slow down. As a matter of fact, the racism just picked up a few notches. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you this. This is the watch out part, folks. Pay attention to this. Okay? As we go out to peacefully protest, of course, rioting started. Okay? Rioting has started, and mostly started with people who do not live in the area of which the rioting exists or taking place. Okay? These people are from some organization. Of course, they've been paid, and they've been paid by a lot of the people that most of you are voting for. Okay? Whether it's Republicans or Democrats. To me, they're all pieces of shit. I'm sorry that I have to come raw like I just did, but you guys know me. I can't hold back being who I am. I can't hold back not sugarcoating stuff. I'm not here to be politically correct. I don't have time for political correctness. So what I'm saying right now, you cannot push out an agenda without having statistics first. As I mentioned yesterday with Mark Twain, he said there are three lies. There are lies, there are damn lies, and then there are statistics. All of a sudden now, George Floyd was tested positive of coronavirus. Okay? Whether he was, whether he wasn't. What relevance is that to a cop murdering this man? His knee on this man's neck for over 8 minutes. At what point do anyone will recognize or realize, hey, We don't need to have our knee on this man's neck. The man was laying unconscious right there. About another 2 minutes before, the cop took his knee off the man's neck. People who came in to put his body, the paramedics who came to put him in an ambulance, were all wearing vests. When have you ever seen paramedics wearing vests and guns? Here's what I'm telling you, folks. The murder of George Floyd did not just awaken government officials that racism exists. It didn't awaken them. It actually took racism to another level. And how it took it to another level is just what I just explained to you. They took the emotions of us protesting and put hired people into the areas where we are peacefully protesting to start riots, looting. A former police officer, older gentleman, retired police officer, was shot dead over a friggin' television. People being ran over by trucks, tractor trailers. You have people out here who've been hired, folks. And if I was a betting man, I would tell you from the money of those who are men named George Soros, who's part of what we call or what we've recognized as the deep state. Deep state including the Hillary Clintons, the Bill Gates, the Zuckerbergs, all these folks. What I'm sharing with you right now, folks, is that we have to make a stance. We have to stand for freedom, justice, and equality. But we also have to be smart. We also have to make sure that we're making a stance by keeping eyes in the back of our head, making a stance, and also making sure that we know exactly what they're trying to impose on us. So, what's next? What's next, folks, is awareness. What do I mean by awareness? I'm not saying awareness of racism. We all know that exists. I'm not saying awareness of black men, unarmed black men being killed by cops. That's not what I'm saying awareness of. What I'm saying awareness of, I'm talking about awareness of them playing chess. And if they're playing chess, we need to learn how to play chess. See, the problem, folks, is like I said yesterday in my yesterday's video, is they're playing chess, we're playing Connect Four. We need to learn chess. And the bigger problem, the bigger challenge is trying to get us to learn chess. But unfortunately, because of cognitive dissonance, many of us don't want to learn chess. We're comfortable playing Connect Four. Here's an invitation, folks. I'm not going to be long. I just wanted to share that part because people have been hired to destroy your community. Have you noticed that pile of bricks has been randomly stacked up around the places where people are rioting? People are protesting. Have you noticed that? They urge you to take bricks and throw bricks. Have you noticed that? Oh, have you been paying attention, folks? People have been hired to come into your town to act like they are part of the cause, but they're not part of the cause. They're part of the problem. And they're looking to impose their problem in your community. And when your community have to be revitalized, your community have to be brought back up, that's what happens. They make everything expensive to the fact that you can't afford to live there anymore. So you take a 10 to 20 year gentrification plan and you just cut it down to 2 years. This is what I mean by the watch out part. If you're going to peacefully protest, then protest for justice, freedom, and equality, but also protest and keep an eye on those who wants to come and loot and destroy your community. If your grandmother, if your parents need medicine, how can you go to the local drugstore for medicine when the local drugstore has been torn to pieces? This is what I mean when I say we have to be smarter. You may be on medication. Your father, your mother, your grandparents, anybody, your children could be on medication. But you can't go to the local drugstore because it's been torn up. Not only has it been torn up by people you know, it's been torn up by people who don't even live in your city. People who have been hired, meaning been paid to come into your community and tear it up. They using your emotions to a horrific situation, to a situation that got the entire world in a shambles right now, got the entire world protesting against, got the entire world grieving. They took this, folks. Anybody, if they take something like a tragic situation like this and use that against you to hire people to come into your community to tear up your community off of your emotions, making you join them because your emotions are so high, your impulse, you joining them because you thinking, yeah, let's tear this up. You're not thinking because you're hurt. If you got a group of people in government or people with money who has an agenda, who comes and pays people to come and do these type of things in your community, folks, then that's a clear indication that racism has increased triple time after the death of George Floyd. That's exactly what that says. You don't have to believe me. Check out the people who've been arrested for these looting acts. And it shows Mayor Bowser, Mayor of Washington, D.C., said that 50% of the people that they have arrested do not even live in the city of Washington, D.C. What am I going at, folks? I'm telling you to stand for freedom, justice, and equality, but you got to understand that the people that you're marching against is playing chess while you're playing Connect Four. So we stand for freedom, justice, and equality, but we got to watch out. We got to watch out because they have an agenda, folks. They can use a tragic situation like this and use that against the people in your community, forcing gentrification. Now they have to build it up. You have to understand something. I'm going to go right to the coronavirus situation as well. When you start seeing these fake, bogus numbers jumping out there, you know, all of a sudden 19,000 or 21,000 cases confirmed of coronavirus after the protesting has started. You see, folks, you got to understand why these numbers are so high. In order for people to push their agenda, they need statistics to justify their agenda. You guys not hearing me. See, you guys not catching that. Let me say that again. I'm going to say this again. In order for people, these folks, these wicked people, to push an agenda, see, they can't just push the agenda on you. They just can't come and hit you with martial law. They need reasons to do these things. So if they can put trickery in the reason to justify the agenda, then they'll push it on you. See, that's why these coronavirus cases been jacked up. See, just like they claim coronavirus was found in George Floyd. They did the same exact thing with all these deaths that they claim was caused by coronavirus. Somebody get hit by a truck, it was coronavirus. Somebody jump out the sky and their parachute didn't open, they had coronavirus. somebody drowned in a pool. Coronavirus. Increasing the numbers. See, what you got to look at, folks, is if these things, if this everybody's been, all these deaths is caused by the coronavirus, then you have to understand something. This is how you get the numbers right. If all these people died of coronavirus, then won't you take a look at everything else that people have died by? Look at on a yearly basis the causes of death on a yearly basis, such as pneumonia, such as drowning, such as heart attacks, all these things, high blood pressure, diabetes. Take a look at these other statistics, and you will see those statistics are way down. Why they're way down? Because people are dying of those things, but they're claiming that these things that they're dying from the coronavirus. Just like they claim that George Floyd had coronavirus in his system. See, they wanted to, first after the first autopsy, they claimed that, oh, he had underlying issues. Shannon Sharpe predicted that. They're going to say, he said that they're going to try to say he has underlying issues. He predicted that. And that's exactly what came out a couple of days later. They claimed he had underlying conditions. And that made George Floyd's family hire their own autopsy, own medical examiner. And the examiner came out and said he was indeed murdered. This is being ruled as homicide. Okay, after he was ruled as homicide, then they came out with another post talking about where he had coronavirus. If he had coronavirus, then what was the underlying issues prior to you saying that he had coronavirus? You got to understand how they kind of bits and piece information stuff out there to try to justify something. They're still trying to justify these toxic ass vaccines that they're trying to create with nanochips. You got to understand this, folks. This is the watch out part of what I'm trying to share with you when it comes to marching and standing for freedom, justice, and equality. You got to understand that racism just took another notch up higher after the death of George Floyd. So what am I proposing here? What am I proposing here? I'm proposing and inviting, and I'm going to name as many as I can right now, all motivational speakers. These are people that are in my industry. I'm naming them. I'm inviting. I'm not challenging you. I'm not trying to make you look bad. I want you to walk with me. I want you to stand with me. And I want you to help me get messages out to not only to our people, but to people in Congress, people in the Senate, the president, every single body, as well as the local government officials, that we can no longer tolerate injustice in our country. I'm calling on people who are great influencers of mine. Tony Robbins, I'm inviting you. Make a stand with me. They're talking about making a march. Al Sharpton is talking about making a march. That's a lot of preachers making a stance. We need another march. We need another march with motivational speakers because we have the platform. We have another audience that we need to bring here, okay? And march and make a stance. I'm inviting and asking, I'm begging for Tony Robbins to come. Let's put this together. Any of you who are watching this video, if you watch this video replay, if you have experience with event planning, I want you to inbox me because we need a committee to put this thing together so that we can have all of these motivational speakers to come out and speak against the injustices in this country. Again, Tony Robbins, who is a great influence of me. Another person, Mr. Les Brown, who I personally know. He personally knows me. I have personally sat in his class and learned how to become a great speaker with this guy. Another person, Dr. Willie Jolly, who I also personally know, who have also sat in his class and learned how to become a great speaker. I'm naming everybody that I can name to help me. If you guys know these people, tell them that I invited them. Invite them. Okay. Lisa Nichols, great friend of mine. She spoke at an event that I had in 2018 called the Tampa Bay Wealth Summit. I'm inviting Lisa Nichols. By the way, Lisa Nichols gave a phenomenal message on the 2nd, 2 days ago, on Facebook. Go to her page and listen to the message. It was about 23 minutes long. Phenomenal message as she spoke up against the injustices in this country. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lisa Nichols. This is exactly what I've been asking all motivational speakers to do, is to speak up against the injustices in this country. Thank you very much, Lisa Nichols. So I'm inviting Lisa Nichols to also speak on this platform against injustices. I'm also asking Brian Tracy, another influencer of mine. Brian Tracy, I'm inviting you. If you guys getting these names, write them down, do what you need to do, reach out to these people through their pages or do whatever you need to do, because I'm going to do it as well. I'm asking for Brian Tracy. I'm asking for John C. Maxwell. John C. Maxwell, I'm asking for you. I'm begging you. I'm inviting you to join for us to build a platform as motivational speakers to speak against the injustices in this country. I'm also asking for John Assaraf. John Assaraf, I'm asking, I'm begging, and I'm inviting you to come and help me and other motivational speakers speak against the injustices in this country. James Arthur Ray has been an influencer of mine for many years. James Arthur Ray, regardless of the differences past, regardless of the differences of the past between you and I, we've had challenges together. Throw it out of the window. I'm asking, I'm begging, and I'm inviting you to come and join me and other motivational speakers to speak up against the injustices in this country. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I'm inviting, begging, and asking you to come and help us with this platform to speak against the injustices in this country. There are a lot of speakers out there, folks. I'm inviting all of them. If you heard the names that I've given, share that. And here's another one. Grant Cardone. I'm begging, asking, and inviting you to come and help us on this platform to speak against the injustices in this country. The ET, Eric Thomas, I'm begging, asking, and you to come and help us to speak up against the injustices in this country. Brother Charles Carey, I'm inviting, asking, and begging you to come and help us speak up against the injustices in this country. Dr. Mr. Dennis Kimbrough, my man, I'm begging, asking, and inviting you to come and help us stand against the injustices in this country. Mr. George Frazier, I'm asking, begging, and inviting you to come and stand with me and other motivational speakers to speak up against the injustices in this country. There are plenty more. Plenty more. Brother Bedford. I know pretty soon you and I will be on the same stage together doing our work. I'm also asking, begging, and inviting you to come and help me and other motivational speakers make a stance against the injustices in this. Joe Vitale, I'm asking you as well to come and help us make a stance against the injustices in this country. Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield, I'm begging, asking, and inviting you to help us make a stance against the injustices in this country. If I missed out any motivational speakers, please help me. Please help me reach out to them because we need all of you. It's not a time for us to sell our entrepreneur kits. This is a time that we make a stance and help bring this country together. Because the NFL, the National Football League, is going to fall apart. You're going to have black players versus white players who are standing differently, standing apart from one another. You're going to have NFL players not giving their best because of what is going on in this country. You're going to have NFL players not give NBA players, NFL players not giving their best because their counterpart, because they feel that their counterpart, their teammate who was not African American, who see as racist. You just saw what just happened with New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees and another black player who disagreed and told Drew Brees to shut the F up because Drew Brees didn't agree to black players kneeling against the national anthem and the flag. But now that this has happened, and Drew Brees the next day apologized for it, but did he really apologize in sincerity, or did he apologize because black athletes backlashed? We don't know. But in the back of people's head, they're not going to feel comfortable around certain people or around certain situations because of what just happened. So I'm challenging all our motivational speakers. Let's do our own march. Let's set our own platform. Reverend Al Sharpton is doing one. There's so many different organizations out there doing their own platform. We need to do one as motivational speakers. We have never done a platform as motivational speakers to speak up against the injustices in this country. We never have done that. It is time that the motivational speakers, myself, Les Brown, Dr. Willie Jolly, Lisa Nichols, Kim Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, John C. Maxwell, Brian Tracy, Steve Siebold, Jack Canfield, John Assaraf, James Arthur Ray. I'm calling all of you. My main man, Charles Carey, I'm calling on all of you to help me and other motivational speakers make a stance against freedom, justice, and equality. We can organize our own march. Those of you right now who's watching this video, if you're a singer, we could love to use your voice. We can have you sing the Negro National Anthem. If you're a singer, we can use that. But we want all motivational speakers to join us. We want all motivational speakers to stand with us Because motivational speakers, we have never stood up publicly against the injustices in this country. It's always been religious groups. It's always been certain other groups like Black Lives Matter and other organizations, the NAACP, Black Men Coalition. Listen, they've been doing it for years. It's time for us as motivational speakers to start marching, to start creating our own platform, because we all have a huge, huge following as motivational speakers. Let's bring our audience to the forefront and talk to them and ask them to help us to speak up against the injustices in this country. That's fair. As motivational speakers, we need to do our share. Just like Lisa Nichols did 2 days ago. Phenomenal message on Facebook Live. We all need to follow suit. We all need to be doing it. I've been doing it almost every other day here on social media about the injustices, and not only just the injustices, but to educate our people so that our people can learn how to play chess like they're playing chess and keep us from playing Connect 4. Let's make a stance, motivational speakers. I'm going to keep doing videos asking our motivational speakers to step up and join. And let's organize our own march. If you're really, really sincere about humanity, then join me. Contact me. Do what you need to do. Help me organize this thing. Help me set this thing up. I'm not an expert at event planning. I'm not an expert in setting that up. So anybody who is an event planner, if you've done events before, if you know how to organize events, contact me and ask me what could you do to get involved. We need you involved. We need people involved who are motivational speakers. We need people who are involved who are vocalists. You have a beautiful voice. If you can inspire the people with your voice, we can use that. We need people who have voices. We need people who knows how to put together events, because I need help. I want to put this together. I don't know where we're going to do it at yet, but we're going to all contact these motivational speakers and ask them to come and join us, because motivational speakers typically don't even get involved with movements like this, but it is time. Everybody needs to step up. Everybody needs to put their hand in the pot. Everybody needs to let the government know that we can't tolerate this anymore. Period. So with that being said, folks, share this video. If you know any motivational speakers, share the video. I'm talking about mainstream motivational speakers. Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Dr. Willie Jolly, James Arthur Ray, Lisa Nichols. All these people. Let's stand up. Let's do something. Right now. Right now. Inbox me if you're an event planner. Anything that you can do to contribute, let's inbox me now. Let's get a committee created. Let's create the committee so we can get this plan out there and make this happen. Thank you guys for stopping through. I love you and the world needs you. Peace and blessings, and I'll see you guys soon.